Alrighty, here on the left we've got Aidan Meyer, a very strong baseball player, our go-to guy at second base. And on the right we've got a major league player who's had the benefit of about 20 years of coaching, millions of dollars, and but he's got a great swing, so we're going to compare, use it, and learn as best as we can here. So let's take a look. So at the moment, we can see the stance. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit wide, but it looks okay. So we'll go with it for a moment. And let's put a little bit to motion here. So here we go. So it looks like we kind of move off of the shoulder there with the ball. And so you'll notice that the movement of the bat actually is away from your shoulder and then kind of up. So let's watch this again. So here we go. So you lay it on your shoulder and you kind of raise it up and then you kind of go. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Where this gentleman and most major leaguers start with their bat off their shoulder, and you'll notice that as he begins to step, the bat is actually going to go from, and this is important, the bat is here, and then after you kind of begin your step, it doesn't have to be at the same time, you're going to notice that the bat actually goes back a bit more. It'll actually go more towards the pitcher. And that's what we're going to do to create lag. Lag is when something is lagging behind, if you will. So where your step, the bat is moving more that way, what I'd much rather have, let's see if we can clear this out. I'd much rather have you start the bat here before you take your step, and then as you begin your step, create that lag where the bat actually comes down to here, kind of in this move. And what that's going to do for you, and if you recall that little hammer drill we did where we took a hammer and we hit it against the ground, that allowed you to get that bat kind of whippy and then allowed you to come in faster, as opposed to it being too connected with your body. You actually want to be whippy with that bat. And the way you kind of do that, again, if you look at this professional, is he starts with the bat here, and then as he's kind of beginning to go, then the bat will go further down, actually towards the pitcher, where yours is, again, going up. So let's play with that. Let's see what we can do there. But other than that, let's look at the legs and the hips here. So that is actually a pretty good move. So what we're looking for is a weight shift back. And so here, you're going to notice that you can kind of tell he's got some weight on his back foot here, right? And he's going to kind of push off a bit and go from the back to the front. And he kind of, he's still connected to the ground. There's still some power there in a shift here. Where I think, Aidan, if we can work on some of your footwork, what you're going to find is you go from here. So there's a little bit of a weight shift, so that's good. But I'd like to see a little bit more loading on this back foot, because you immediately slide to the front. So it's close. It's close. So maybe just a little bit more rotation and loading a little bit longer. You could tell here on the professional, when he does that, his knee is a bit bent coming through, where yours is, if I go from here, it's like you're not taking any time on this back foot. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that, and then a push more towards the front. And so you'll notice you just kind of step up. It's not horrible. I mean, it's really close. So maybe just a little bit loading, a little bit longer loading. And then, so here we are. I love, Aidan. Love how your head stays back behind your hands. This is fantastic. That's a good move. Let's see what your head does from out. So, that looks good. Oh, that looks really good. Look at that stay back. Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. And then this is also a power spot. Look at this. Let me clear this out. So when he gets to here, look how similar you guys are. That's really good. Now, if we had the bat moving, like we said, more towards the pitcher and that downward move, that bat, instead of being here, would be actually a little bit further back. You see how when his arms are here, which your arms are pretty close to there, the bat would just fall down on his shoulder if he dropped it. Yours is way kind of behind you. And that's a common mistake, particularly at our age group. But that would just be one thing to think about. But that's going to fix itself once we, get the bat off your shoulder initially, and then allow it to go back when you take that step. But this. I mean, look at this. This looks really, really good. And I love that your head is back. And then as we move through, love that the head stays still. And it looks like you're swinging up 10 degrees, which is perfect, right? Because we know we want to swing up slightly. And why is that? Well, that's because the pitcher is throwing from above his shoulder off of a mound, and he's pitching downwards. And so he's pitching down 10 degrees. And so you want to swing up 10 degrees to match that. So a lot of people think you want to swing flat. Well, the pitcher doesn't throw it from his hip, and then the ball actually goes down. So that's why we swing slightly up, and it looks like you're doing a great job doing that. So congratulations. And then here we go. That looks good. Looks really good. So we come through. All right. So here's a spot. Let's check this out. This is yeah, that looks good. Remember we practiced this earlier in the year, how we wanted this space here, and you've got that. So that is great. That is great. And let's go a little bit more here. Now at this point, your hips stop turning. So you're going to get to here, and then the hips just stop. Okay. And then that's why you aren't able to extend fully, which is okay, right? But if the hips kept turning, our hands would be more fully extended, and that bat would be down the line instead of kind of coming up. And what I've noticed is, as you get to about right here, this point, this leg needs to be stiff. Okay, so when you come into here, this leg, you know who else does this? Your friend Nolan Lum. He does this a lot. So when you come into your swing, let's stiffen that front leg up so you don't shift. And believe it or not, if you can make that leg stiff, it's easier to rotate your hips. Might sound weird, but it's true. So watch this professional. All right, so he steps, he starts to turn his hip, and then watch his leg actually come in and straighten. And it actually allows him to turn his hips more. So the only reason why you're not turning your hip is because that leg, that front leg, needs to get straightened. Just make it a little bit stiff, and then that will allow you to turn your hips more and extend through the ball and actually deliver with more power. I think that's it. All right, so hey, this is an 8-minute video. My God, what was I thinking? All right, so let's recap quickly. We threw a lot at you. So I'd like to, one, start the bat off of your shoulder. Let's start it here, right? Let's start it here, not on the shoulder. And then as we take a step back, right, that bat is going to actually create some lag and go backwards. Okay, so we're going to work just a little bit on that as opposed to there. And then the only other thing we're going to do, you know what? Let's just focus on straightening that front leg so that we can then rotate our hips more so we can extend. That's pretty cool. And then what you'll find is that you'll actually get more on your front side. Let's watch this guy. See how right now, like almost no weight is on that back foot. Look at this toe. It almost comes off the ground. where you've got some weight still on that back foot. And that's just because we need to straighten this and turn our hips all the way through and get to our front. But I'd love that your head stays in the spot. Well done. All right, buddy. Hey, sorry for the long video, but I wanted to spend the time because I care about you. And hopefully you watch this thing like 20 times and have a few questions. And let's have some fun this year. All right. Take care, buddy. Glad you're on the team.